Dastra is easy to configure as an administrator. You can do that without any technical knowledge specifically. My name is Nicolas Thierry. I'm the Global Data Protection Manager at Hilti. My formation and professional experience are on legal departments and with a little bit of cybersecurity, as it's always useful for a DPO to have. So Hilti is a company that provides tools to the construction industry worldwide. We exist in more than 60 markets all over the world, and we provide tools and softwares to B2B companies. The main challenges we had about GDPR in our organization are tied to BCR. It sounds a bit rough to say BCR is a challenge, but when you're an organization as big as Hilti and that you have BCR, you need to have them applied everywhere, while also respecting the local legal regime and the privacy laws that exist. And with the size we have all the questions and challenge that comes with such a size of making sure that we have something that is scalable. Dastra, I use it in Hilti mostly for centralization and governance, basically. The goal for me is to be able to see my entire world in one place, to be able to harmonize very much easily something that is existing all over the place, and allows me to put in common and share things that needs to be shared. For instance, if everybody has the same processors, no point having 100 people creating for their own records. I'd rather have it created once for everybody, which is something that Dastra allows. It also allows me to deal with deduplications by managing templates through the inheritance, because if we have something that is a global process, that is an activity that is the same everywhere, I can create it once, or have someone with the correct permission create it once, and then I can deploy it to every single entity that needs to have it. The feature I use the most in Dastra for me is the register of processing activity. First, because it's one of the most basic piece of compliance documentation that one should have under GDPR, but more importantly for me in practice, because I can see my entire world, the register of each of my entities in one place. I can search through all of it. I can manage inheritance, as I just said before, having a template, deploying it, harmonizing something, making build, change and everything. And I can also, through Dastra, manage visibility of that registers. So I can have my regional guys seeing all the register for their regions, but nothing else, having someone from a country seeing only that country. I can go into that fine level of permissions that allows me to leverage the scalability and the centralization, and at the same time still respecting country boundaries and job duties and job relevance. So the choice of Dastra dates back 2023. In 2023, we decided to part way from our, at the time, current solution and try to find one that was dedicated, a bit more dedicated and a bit more targeted at privacy professional. And we made that choice and that search during the second half of 2023, which is a time where I personally tested 14 software. And to do the test, I was arriving with a certain list of points, requirements, questions and challenges we have that we would like to solve and see which software would fit the most. Dastra was the one that was the closest to our wish list. And in addition to that, as any company, we have big wish lists, and finding something that fits 100% on the market is quite impossible, let's say it. So Dastra was the closest, but was also a solution where I could see the potential to grow off the solution itself, but the potential for me and my usage and my compliance documentation to grow in the solution in terms of what features they offer and coverage. So those 3 points were the main reason for me to choose Dastra, despite at the time them being 3 times smaller than they are today, and betting on a startup for that. It was a rather pleasant experience because we felt listened to. Dastra teams were pretty flexible with us because, as you can imagine, in our daily life in privacy professionals, calendar may be shifted quite quickly, and Dastra was always fine with our change and with dealing with our own calendars to adapt to our need there. In addition, during that onboarding support, Dastra team were also keen on discovering what is our structures and what are our goals to make sure that they could give us an advice that allow us to leverage Dastra in reaching our goals. They were kind enough to share also experiences that they had with other migration, with other clients on, okay, we've seen that type of things before, this is the type of consequence you can expect. If you want to reach that goal, maybe you can go in that direction or that direction, and it means for first direction that you will get this consequence, for second direction that you will be able to do this and that. So the team were really taking the time to get acquainted with Hilti's needs and Hilti's goals to make sure that we could create the structures we need and get what we want out of Dastra. The first words that come to mind if I have to define Dastra in 3 words is nice. Really, that sounds stupid, but that's really important. The UI is really, really colored, really easy to take hold of and make the user adoptions much more easier. That's obvious, but that's something that I did not necessarily see everywhere. That leads me to the second word, which I already mentioned, which is easy. Dastra is easy to configure as an administrator. You can do that without any technical knowledge specifically. You don't need to be an IT guy or whatsoever. And it's also even more easier for users to just grasp what needs to be done, where to click. There is a little videos. Honestly, training your users on Dastra is super simple, and there is not much to say because everything's already there. The last point that comes to mind for me is comprehensive. Dastra offers a broad range of features which gives a company the place to grow in the solution. You need a ROPA, you need a DSR, of course, but hey, you can manage your DPA, you can also manage your data breach, and you can manage some audit stuff, you have some other questions. There is a wide range of features that allows you to take your compliance documentation to the degree of maturity, to the level of detail that you want for your own company. So you can stay very basic, you can go very deep, and that's up to you. But Dastra offers you the possibility to play on both sides for each of those features.